And welcome back to Space Engineers, ladies and gentlemen. This is Old Man speaking. Last time we visited, we finished up the outer armor on our ship and set up this bad boy. We haven't actually gotten to fire yet. Before I do that, we really need a stabilizer, now don't we? You saw the recoil effects from that single Gatling gun on a small ship in the first episode. We wouldn't want to rock this big boy, now would we? So to do that, First, let's get our thrusters set up in our menu. That is... we'll go with the large iron... no. Small ion thrusters for now. We're not looking to move, we're just looking to keep her from moving. And... gyroscope. That way... see. So... let's start popping there. And let's get a whole yeah, let's see. Let's make 2 rows along the sides of the ship for our thrusters. We won't actually fill them in until we get the gyroscopes in place. The gyros let you turn and spin and stuff like that. If you don't have them, you're just going to be able to move forward, backwards, left, right. You're not going to be able to stabilize yourself. So, let's get... and the more gyros you have, the more stable you can be, the more agile you can be. Without them, you're kind of a sitting duck. So let's go ahead, fill this whole place in. I'm going to keep doing that, mixing them up. Single pushes and control pushes. I just keep forgetting to hit the control button. Okay. That's good. Let's re-armor the... there we go. And that'll do for this side. We're gonna have to work on others. Let's see. Might as well be uniform about it. There's that side finished. Let's do it on here. And over here. Gonna be a little bit more difficult, but not much. Okay. We'll just refill that in. And, like I said last time, I did kind of use heavy blocks for most of this. Or, no wait, I did heavy blocks for another side, but like I said, this is more for stability than actual movement. So we should be alright. Wait. There we go. So there's that. And that. And those two. Go. We just do this on every side. Definitely for the thrusters. You don't have to do it for the gyros, but the more you have, the better you do. Okay, this one's... huh. I guess we didn't dual armor the bottom of the ship, but we don't have to be... you know what? We don't even have to crack the ship open for this one. Since the cannon's not up there, and that's the main reason I wanted to crack it open and embed the thrusters and the armor over there, was the gun was there, and if we embedded the thrusters in the armor up top, then they wouldn't really affect the alignment, the aiming, that kind of stuff. So you want thrusters on all 4 sides, all 6 sides of your ship. And of course, we might want to go a little bit deeper for. This isn't anything wrong though, because we're replacing some of that heavy armor with light armor. There we go. Kind of lightening up our load. So that's fine. And that's fine. And then we'll just put 4 thrusters here. Like I said, this is just going to be, like I said earlier, this is just going to be like basically a cheap knockoff. Wouldn't want to buy it, but if you got nothing better to do, get it kind of ship. I'll show you how to build better ships later. Now we're just kind of playing around with this, getting something up where we could, no, I know what I'll do. Yeah, getting something up that we can use to there we go. Trying to teach me how to dampers. Just getting something up to play with that right there. And I think we've nailed all the sides except for this one. So let's go down a bit low. I realize that we just cracked open our. Okay. If we go low with this, like real low, it's still not going to affect angles. In real life, this would definitely be a very unbalanced ship, but this isn't real life. As long as it can stay fairly stable, it's good. So, we've got our thrusters, we've got a decent bit of gyros, so we should be good for the moment. Well, let's go ahead and test fire this thing. I had 2 worries. One was the stability, which we've covered, and the other is what's about to happen. And actually, we'll do this. No. Okay, there's a third concern. Nothing that really matters to this test fire, but we might as well cover it now while it's in mind. You'll notice from the earlier episodes, this camera had a very narrow view. So I'm hoping, I don't necessarily want it all the way out, but maybe a little bit farther out than it was. I had a very narrow view because it was surrounded by guns and it was all that far back in. So let's try moving it up one and making sure there we go. And try to get as wide a view as we can without leaving it exposed. This is obviously not the final version of this turret. This is just a basic one to get the idea down. Kind of the principle. Of course, I also realized I forgot. Oh wait, no, I didn't forget. I just forgot where I put it. The door. Yeah. That tutorial is really far behind us now, isn't it? Use the insert, delete, home, and page up, page on. That's what we've been doing. Tutorial. Let's see. There we go. There we go. I could have sat there and done the test firing from up above. Frankly, I should go back up there and do the test firing from above. But you know what? First off, okay, I'm just gonna fool around here for a bit and get some more control seats in. I'm gonna show you what maybe this whole thing might look like once it's kitted out. See, and you want your captain's seat back here in the middle. And you just, you know, all that nice blue lighting. Yeah. And obviously you would name them all, like, that needs to be cockpit. Or, you know, helm. Captain's seat. Assuming you don't pack on more than one gun, obviously that'd be like engineer's seat maybe. If you're going for a multi-gun battleship or combat ship of any kind, then you'd want like you'd want to try and get your seats about oriented like the tools they're going to use. So like if you had one in each corner, a gun on each corner, you'd have a gunner seat in each corner. As you could put a gunner seat here, it wouldn't matter to the air system. And then that way you could hook it up right. Like you'd name each gun component for that. Every gun component based on where they're located, what their gun is. So like front port would be the front of the ship, or bow of the ship if you want to go with full nautical. And ports left. Of course, I'd like to shorten that, play with abbreviations just to make them sound cooler. Like rear port, you could shorten it to Reaper, Reapor, Reaper, R-E-A-P-O-R. Or, you know, a frost cannon would be the front starboard over here. Of course, this is central dorsal. I don't think Centaur. There we go. Okay, so let's go. Alright, so G. Now that we've got that set up, let's see. All blocks, there's 2 of them. Okay, so that's rotor. We'll do increase velocity, decrease velocity, reverse, and then for rotor 4, increase velocity, decrease velocity, reverse, and of course you'd want to stop, so actually, and toggle block on off. Then we go with the increase, decrease, reverse, on off, and that leaves us one more for the 24 gun salute. Shoot once. Okay, so I've mentioned several worries. Here's the big one. That when I fire this thing, it's going to break. Because you'll notice there's 24 guns, and the only connecting point they've got is that one rotor. So we're going to see what happens, and well, with all luck, the ship's not about to break. But that's why we put these up. That's why we put... Hey, I can actually see myself. That's why we put those up. That's why we've got this thing stable. Is at least the ship itself won't move. Although, assuming that that rotor does break, that cannon is going to come smashing right back down. So maybe... we want to aim forward, which of course we'll actually be able to see. And, well, okay, no break. That was interesting. Or a lot less interesting than I thought it might be. Pretty fireworks though. So, let's see. I'm not going to aim at myself. Obviously not. But maybe give us a better view of the fire. And get that sun slightly out of our view. So it's not drowning everything out. There we go. Of course, it's going to be more spectacular once I actually get some targets. And we're going to want to play with targeting now, aren't we? Or we're going to actually look through the camera view. But I'm looking and realizing that's a lot of... We don't necessarily need the whole decreased torque thing. Once we get the torque started, we can use reverse for that. So, let's erase that. No, wait. Unless we're never going above 3 anyway, we're probably going to want decreased torque. Trying to figure out how to get it so we can actually set that camera up. You know, if we can turn the on-off ones off for now. There we go. And of course, one quick shot from inside, so you can see what it looks like. Because of course my DeviantArt viewers have already seen stills from all this. Now, of course that was a static emplacement, that wasn't a turret like this. And yeah, right from there, we can already see that the cannons are no longer obstructing our view, and enemies will actually have to be, they can't come straight from the sides or up and down and see then hit the camera. So that's good. So we've done right there. Didn't have to go all the way out and expose ourselves. We got our viewpoint fixed. So that's good. So now, I guess we want to target. I'm going to go with heavy armor blocks for this. I'll use a control panel to... Okay. So that's our starting. Although, no. So, we'll make it bright red. I think we can actually... Yep, there we go. I figured out how to paint that right. At least most of it. We'll go with 555 target. And I'll set it as a station, because stations are built into the grid, the game's grid system, so it don't actually move. If we were shooting at this thing and it were a ship, then you'd get what we got on the DeviantArt journal, where it started floating away right after the first shot. So you couldn't really target it very well. And I don't think very much of it, if anything, actually blew up on that first shot. So, let's get that going. And let's put a control panel on it, because I think that's how I can turn it into a station. I think right now it counts as a ship. Yeah. Okay. Properties. Convert to station. There we go. 'Cause right now, there we go. Now it is a station. Now, when we start shooting at it, it's not going to run away. And of course, it's going to be a dark target. So, let's put power block, this gyros. Reactor block, and some lights. Just little corner lights. Something to point them out. Point it out. There we go. And let's see what it looks like. Okay, it's actually pretty close to center. So let's... There we go. That's centered up nicely. Let's see what happens. Convert the ship is not possible, which means, ooh, we hit something. Okay, well, that didn't quite line up the way I wanted it to. And that was a little too far. But are we seeing any space? Because I'm seeing a shape, but I'm not seeing space. This is 3. Okay, number 3 was a direct hit. And there's still no holes that I can see. You can still see the shape right there. This is 4. I'm not sure. Doesn't look like it's 5. This is why you want heavy armor on your hull. I mean, it scoured the lights right off this thing, but it's still not broken. That was like 5 and 6. And I'm still not seeing space. 7, 8. Yeah. I mean, there's just now bits flying off. 9. 10. See? After 10 shots, it's still there. And let's go see what kind of damage we did do. And it is scorched, but it's holding. It's still there. It's crumpled. And that reactor is... This is another reason you want double armor. And you don't necessarily... And you know, around your reactor area, you might even want a triple set of armor. Because the next shot might actually take this thing out. The armor's warping, but it's not breaking yet. And this is 24. This is a volley of 24 heavy rockets per shot, and that armor is just steady as it can be. That definitely tells you you want heavy armor for your frame. Shot 11. Well, let's go see if that thing's still... Yeah, it's still there. It's a bit beat up, but 11 shots and that reactor's still there. But that's probably the weak point right there, is the reactor. So, let's just see if this were a light armor ship. Chances are it would be open to like a tin can already. See? That's awesome that smoke can just show you right there. 12, this is 13. And that armor is just not broken. It's crumpled. 14 shots. But I'm not even seeing a hole. Because that smoke would probably outline a hole if it's outlining a shape. It's 14? Here, 14 or 15. And it just isn't breaking. Although that might... I don't think I have any mods on. But I did have that option. Can't convert to ship. Maybe that's the problem. when it said that. I'm betting that whole can't convert to ship thing is what caused this. Okay. Well then, we're going to show off changing your map. So save this for now. Exit to main menu. I didn't have to save it, but okay. Load, recording studio, edit settings, advanced. Let's go down. Let's see. Right. And then there should be I'm not sure. I mean, it's a good thing that I showed you this, because yes, you can get back into a map and change its settings, but I'm not seeing anything for here, ship station, but I'm not seeing anything that would let me. Well, let's give it another 4 hits and see what happens. There we go. Yeah, because that doesn't seem quite right. 1, 2, 3, 4. It definitely did some serious. Okay. We are definitely seeing more damage. But I don't know. No, actually, that shouldn't have any issues. Because, well, no. It said it couldn't convert station to ship. Which is pretty funny. Now I'm looking and I realize there's no control panel anymore. Well, there is one if I were to use this. Let's open it. See, it says incomplete. I was thinking about the broken glass from the first episode. But that was a ship. That wasn't a station. Another way to figure it out is just to build a ship. But I want to. That wasn't quite what I had in mind, but. Let's watch from out here. Yeah, excellent. Oh wait. No wait, that's the extra shots. I see. I wasn't noticing them from the camera. I wonder if that's because... Oh yeah, there we go. We've got holes. So there wasn't anything wrong after all. Still got to show you something cool, huh? Yeah, there we go. It just takes god-awful long to do it. Yeah, that's definitely evidence for heavy armor here. Because we were using light armor. That would have been gone by now. Yeah, you see the smoke just outlines all of it. We're not seeing any green smoke anymore. I think we finally took out that reactor. No. Man. Well, remember, most of the force is being absorbed by the armor. So, yeah. Of course, the reactor is going to take a little extra. Here I was thinking that reactor was going to be the weak link. I thought I was actually going to blow up from the inside. 2, 3. I have actually lost count on the number of times we've hit this thing. I'm just seeing how long it's going to take. Oh yeah. I would say that, holy moly. That green glow is just still there. That one little piece of armor is just sticking out, protecting it. But yeah, definitely want light and heavy armor. Light armor would have popped by then. Way earlier. Yeah, we're cracking her open. I don't think we're going to see green smoke anymore. Nope. But yeah. There's definitely, this is tame compared to actually the strongest custom weapons. See, fun fact, when you get to a certain point, explosives just don't add anything. When you get to a certain speed, explosives don't add anything to weapons impact. Like, at all. A nuke is nothing compared to just serious kinetic force. That's why they have things called KEWs, kinetic energy weapons. Basically, it's a giant steel rod that you launch from orbit onto any target, and it'll slam into the ground with enough force to take out a tank. They're batted around in sci-fi. Bullets, obviously, guns, kinetic energy weapon, right there. But, yeah, just massive bullets do more damage than an explosive will if they're thrown fast enough. And the reason I'm telling you this is because the most creative weapons in this game are KEW weapons. I mean, with a strong enough KEW, with a strong enough blank torpedo, going at game's full speed of 104 meters per second, or 100 meters per second, maybe. I can go 104, I think. Just building up. Yeah, I can go 110. The ships themselves can go 104. We're going that fast, just slamming in. The KEW would have just nailed this thing and broken it in the first shot. And so I guess it's time to introduce you to the game's gravity system, because that's the core of a torpedo launcher. Because there's... I just love that blue glow. Keypad just lights up, and it almost lights up the room. But yeah, because there's three ways to launch a torpedo. There's momentum, where the torpedo is really just a rod of solid metal, and you hurl it and you drive your ship really fast, and then you disconnect the torpedo from your ship and slow down so the torpedo just keeps going without you, which is, it's the simplest way. You don't have to put anything on the torpedo itself, you just launch it manually. It's like throwing a spear. Then you could make the torpedo into, say, a drone. Yeah, that's right. I'm now able to walk on the ship. There is now a bottom to the ship. The top, a bottom, all of it. Because the game's got gravity system. Obviously the second method is you could put thrusters on the torpedo, make it into a drone, and have like remote control for, say, 200 meters. And maybe you could just drive alongside the torpedo while it builds up speed. In which case you're really not gaining much other than maybe aiming on that torpedo over just dead throw. And then there's the third, which uses in-game gravity system. And what that is, you put special blocks called artificial mass blocks on your torpedo. You put a huge mass, say a massive tube, full of gravity generators aimed at the front of your ship, or whichever direction you want the torpedo to face. Just loop the entire tunnel full of them. I like the idea of an extendable tunnel, where you've got pistons push it out so the tunnel reaches farther, and you just get a longer thrust for the same amount of gravity generators. And just, you turn on the mass blocks, you disconnect the torpedo from the ship, and it just starts going forward on its own, pulled forward by those gravity generators. And you could put generators wherever you want. I could have made the roof, the ceiling, the floor, and the game would have been just a-okay with that. Whatever you do, you don't want more than one active, like, gravity direction in a given place. Like, I've got it pointing towards the floor now. I don't want to turn on a second one that's aimed at the ceiling. It makes everything spaz out and your ship goes crazy. Anything mobile caught within the field goes crazy. Because there's only like 3 things that the gravity generator actually affects: the player, loose objects, like if somebody busts a conveyor and all the supplies fall out, or if I'm mining ores, and artificial mass blocks. That's why you gotta stuff your torpedo full of them, because they create artificial mass that thing can grab onto and just start pulling forward, or pulling towards it. And of course, let's show you if I've got a control panel. I might have to just jack into it from the bridge. Captain's chair. Okay, here we go. Gravity generator. Yeah, the field width, the field height, all of that, that's going in both directions. Like, you're going in all 6 directions. And you can control the acceleration, so if you don't want it to go like full 1G, you can turn it down. If you want to control the directions of the field, you can like narrow them, widen them. You can control how high it is, how wide it goes, how much forward and backwards there is to it. Depth. So, of course, I'm not sure with the way it's oriented, I'm not sure which is which on width and depth. So I'm not going to mess with it. But, yeah, that means that, like, if you leave the height as is, over 75 meters out from the ship, out from the front, it's still going to cover. So even after your torpedo gets out of the tube, for the last 75 meters outside the tube, it's still being pushed by that field. And that field, it goes in the same direction. It's not going to be like pulling things in from the other direction. You're not going to see things popping, smacking into the floor of your ship from outside. It's all going to get pushed away. Which, as long as everybody is buckled in the seat, as long as all loose items are stored away, no loose items, and as long as you don't have any artificial mass blocks on the ship, you should actually be able to run multiple generators in multiple different directions at the same time, as long as nobody needs to get up. Which is good, because if you're fighting people who have other, like, torpedoes, same way you do, you could basically use the gravity fields as deflector shields. Wait, we're not actually going to do that this time. We're just going, I was just telling you about it. Okay. Yeah. Right up to the cannon. No damage. At least I don't think there's any no, I think that's just a regular mark. No damage to the cannon whatsoever. My worries were completely unfounded. Not quite a design you want to take into an active battle because it's too exposed. It looks alright. Anyway, from the ruined hulk of the station we just blew up, this is Oman signing off. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.